Hi folks, in this video we're going to be looking at the Enclave High Command set for Fallout Wasteland Warfare from Modiphius Miniatures. And to answer that frequent question, what do you actually get in the box with these Fallout miniatures? So, without any further ado, let's cue the music. Firstly, let's get rid of the shrink wrap. So, here we have the box that is shrink wrap. And as we can see, on the front of the box, it has the 3 miniatures that are included in this set. And they're painted to a really nice standard. And they're done in a more realistic style rather than a heroic style. So inside, there is just one single plastic bag full of miniatures. This is a reasonably new wave of miniatures, and so this does not come with any instructions, item cards, character cards. It's purely just the models in the box. And once I finish fighting with this plastic bag, let's do some close-ups to see exactly what you get. First up, we have the Enclave Scientist in a kneeling position. And I'm a really big fan of this model. The outfit is absolutely spot on to the clothing item in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. There's a small bit of mold residue and flashing on the model, but nothing that isn't easily cleaned up. The back apparatus with its hoses and the cables and the belt strap across the chest are absolutely spot on, and the detail is really crisp. Although simple at first glance, the scenic base for this miniature is actually quite detailed. There's a lot of texture in the stony desert floor, there's a nice piece of iron railing or grating, and there's a half-submerged T-45 power armor helmet. Next up is a rather interesting model, and this is the Enclave Lieutenant. I'm not sure it ever showed up in one of the 3D games, but it does look like a much more detailed version of the Enclave officer's armor. And this is a really nice cast. There's a bit of flashing and a bit of cleanup to do, but nothing too difficult. The weapon is clenched in both hands and is a Fallout 3 style plasma pistol. And as you can see, there's some very nice ribbing on the suits there. And like with all of these resin miniatures, there's only 1 or 2 parts, and these arms will slot straight in. Like on the Scientist, it's a very simple and straightforward sculpted base, and this frame does appear to have some wood texture on it, and it's nice enough to stand out against the barren, rocky wasteland. The last figure sprue we have is Colonel Autumn, one of the main antagonists from Fallout 3, and this miniature is absolutely stunning. The trench coat is really nicely detailed, everything is in great proportions, the folds are nice, the ribbing and the textures and the seam lines are absolutely perfect. Nice detail on the face as well. The sculpted base is really very interesting compared to some of the others. There's a nice array of earth and bricks and wood, and I think there's a couple of purified water containers there, which is a nice nod to the Fallout 3 storyline. There are also a couple of smaller sprues in this set. The first is a 10mm pistol. Now this is Colonel Autumn's right arm that's holding this, and it is really nicely detailed, and the design is very much that from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, before they went to the modular design in Fallout 4. Next we have the left arm of the Enclave Scientist, and as you can see, there are some really nice details with the folds and the natural cloth texture of his oversuit. And following that, we have the right arm for the Enclave Scientist, this time holding a laser pistol. And I really like what Modiphius has done with the laser rifle sculpts. They are really nicely done. I have found that there's always a bit of flashing in that area where that bottom grip sits, but as you can see, it's very easy to move with a brush or a sharp knife, So, as you can see, along with the rest of all the flashing on these models, it will not take much to clean up these kits. These figures will set you back £25, and if you're a fan of the Fallout miniatures, then I think this will be a really great set to pick up for your collection. See you next time.